Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to be talking about Mag and just kind of how absurdly broken this Warframe is. I have been using Mag since the start of the game, and she has just only gotten stronger and stronger, and she is just a fun fact and disclaimer here, she is one of my favorite frames. And I think she's also one of the stronger frames that's in this game, which is even crazier when you remember that Mag's a starter. Like, Mama here's a starter, and there isn't, like, that much big of a difference between the regular base frame and the primes at the end of the day. Um, Granted, if you're watching this and you have a regular mag and not a mag prime, by no means should you invest this much into base mag. But, yeah, no. Like, she is just an absurd powerhouse. She can output an absurd amount of damage. She can just face tank a lot of things because of her 4, just getting all the shields back. There's just so many interactions and synergies that this Warframe has, it is a little ridiculous. So, to try and cover as many of those as I can, let's just kind of get into this. So, starting with the Archon shards here, these are going to be very much to taste, depending on the build that you go with or what you choose to take out, put in, substitute, anything like that. Your choice in Archon shards is going to vary. For me, casting speed, energy on spawn, couple of max or energy max shards, and then a violet equilibrium shard just to kind of round off the energy here. This has worked very, very well for me, so that's what I'm going to recommend. Again, your choices may vary, but yeah, this is all just subject to change. All right, and getting into the build here. I know some eagle-eyed viewers know what this is, but I'm just going to go over the build here really quick anyways. So we've got growing power here in the aura, just more power strength, always good. Prime sheer footed to, make it so you're not getting knocked down, always a great thing, always helps with survivability. Speaking of survivability, we have rolling guard and prime redirection. This goes with the arcane Aegis here. I know Mag can generate her own shields with her 4, but Aegis makes it so that you don't have to necessarily always do it if you're just like running through a mission or anything. Aegis can proc and then you can just, go about your business. It's just a nice little quality of life thing to have on the build. We've got Umbral Intensify, Transient Fortitude, and then Molt Augmented here for the other Arcane. This is our power strength just at work here. Going to help us with the nuking aspect of this build. Stretch helps with all 4 abilities that we have. Energy Nexus and Streamline are great for energy economy because, as the title up here of the build kind of states for caster, you're going to be using your abilities a lot. So having pretty decent efficiency, getting energy back, having like a decent energy pool to kind of take from is going to be pretty important. And then rounding out the build here, we have Fracturing Crush. This is the augment for the 4. So the augment adds 2 big things, being more casting speed, because this thing is a slideshow if you don't have casting speed on. And also this adds a armor reduction, which is really good and makes the damage that you do just skyrocket. So I tend to lean more towards the Fracturing Crush, especially because, as I mentioned earlier, when you cast your 4, you're getting shields back, and that's shields per hit. So, you're hitting enough enemies, you're going to get your shields back pretty quickly, and in a game like Warframe, you're going to be hitting a lot of enemies. So getting all your shields back and then some is going to be no issue. Even though we're at like 1,500 plus shields, you will be more than fine. Getting into the actual Breach Surge kind of nuke setup here for those who maybe aren't familiar with it. So how this works is you cast the 2, Magnetized Bubble gets put around the enemy. Magnetized Bubble, when projectiles get thrown into it or in it, it just circles and orbits like the center of the Magnetized Bubble itself. Then you use Breach Surge. So then Breach Surge is going to blind all the enemies, and then you finish them off with Crush. So this is going to hit everyone, and then those hits will trigger Breach Surge. So then all of the little projectiles get thrown off of them like that. All of them get thrown off of all the enemies that are inside the magnetized bubble. All of those circle it, and it just does. Everything just gets deleted. Like, everything just gets deleted. This build is just a room clearing nuke, essentially. And although this is stationary, why I did not subsume off the pool is so that you can just yank people and yeet them towards the magnetized bubble while it's still going on. So that's actually why I like having like negative duration on here, so that the bubble can just pop faster, so that you can kill more enemies and just bring people more into it. And then as this thing goes away or whatnot, as it leaves, and it pops and blows up, it just does all of the damage that was stored up inside of it. So when it goes away, it deals millions and millions of damage. So yeah, you just, at the end of it, you just pull enemies into it. If they don't make it inside of it as it goes away, it doesn't matter. They're going to be caught up in the explosion anyways, and they're going to die from the explosion. So yeah, this is the breach surge, like nuke mag, basically. This is what I've been using for the past little while, and this has been, I think, one of my more favorite builds in Warframe in the past like few years. This has been awesome, and this has been a standout. This is primarily what I use when I pick mag. If you're not a like fan of the like breach surge and setup and whatnot, I would recommend just slapping together like this little template build here, just throwing together some just mods that are just overall like really good on mag. The reason why you see like missing mods here and then a missing arcane slot here is because these are going to be all to taste. You can throw whatever you want here. I have Roar subsumed. This doesn't have to be Roar. This could be Nourish. This could be Wrathful Advance, Sada's Whisper. This could be Bright Bonnet. This could be Gloom. This could be Elemental Warp. This could be Evade. This could, like, this subsume can be whatever you realistically want it to be. Mag works with a lot of different subsumes and abilities and weapons, and yeah, it's really hard to go wrong. The big thing is really just making sure that if you like using Fractured Blast, or you like using the 4 to have the augment for it, and then having some shields and then having some rolling guard here to go ahead and then make Mag, as tanky as she can be. Outside of that, just, yeah, it's really hard to go wrong. So if you don't like this, just try and mess with something like this. Just play around with it. Use what you want. Throw in like a prime flow if you want to. If you don't want to use the energy shards, or throw in an equilibrium in here if you want to just have your energy just all up in here, and then you can put a bunch of power, strength, or whatnot as your shards. You can realistically do whatever you want. The arcane, same kind of shtick. This could be if you have arcane energized. This could be like where your energy comes from. This could be another like bolt augmented. This could just be whatever you want it to be. Arcane precision. If you're just using secondaries, it could be that. Like it's really hard to just go wrong with choosing anything on mag, really. So just, if you don't like this, just pick this, try it out, just give it a shot. I promise you're going to find something that you like. But for the showcase I'm going to be using the caster build here that I have to show this off. Before we move on to the weapons, I want to show off the companion here. Worm is really important for the negate, so that this also makes sure that we're not getting hit with statuses very often. And then also the important mod to have on here is Tenacious Bond. So this critical damage multiplier, this affects Wisp's Breach Surge. So it's going to do even more damage so long as you have a weapon that has over the 50% crit? I think it's 50% crit. Yeah, 50% crit. So long as you have the weapon on your companion that's over 50% crit, you're going to get the Tenacious Bond bonus, and then all of your abilities that can crit, or weapons for that matter, are just going to do more damage, and it's a really great mod to have on like any breach surge type build. This is what I'm using to pair with my worm, just spreading some viral and just other statuses, but it's mostly just here to try and spread some viral. And then going on into the Latrod Incarnon. As I mentioned earlier with the magnetized bubble, projectiles tend to like circle it or whatnot, and the Incarnon projectile kind of like rocket launcher like type of Incarnon weapon that this is synergizes pretty well with the magnetized bubble. So I'm going to go over my evolutions here just to show those off. And then I'm going to go over the build. I know, there's a ribbon. You don't need it, trust me. This weapon does more than enough damage, so this is just a free slot. This could be shred, this could be hammer shot if you want it to be. This could be, let's see, this could be, what else do we have here? Vigilante armaments if you want more multi-shot. This could be primed firestorm if you want more AoE on your, on the explosions from the Incarnon. This could be a lot of things. It does not have to be a ribbon. You do not have to go out and get a ribbon. I promise you, this weapon does more than enough damage. Also, I'm running Primary Merciless up here for the Arcane. This is just easier for me. Primary Deadhead works very, very well with this. And then if you're using a Warframe that has like a lot of armor, you can use the new Bulwark. This works very, very well as well. So yeah, you've got multiple different options here to use your Latron Incarnon. Then I've got the Compressor Prime. This again shoots projectiles which interact with Mag's bubble in very hilarious ways. Just having a standard just like damage setup here, not really, you know, breaking the mold, I think. Using the Prime Fulmination on the bubbles when they explode and do damage, this gives them a little bit more radius, which I do tend to like. I'm not running a damage mod on here like Hornet or anything because of the damage that we get from Cascadia Flare. And with as much status as we have in all the projectiles that get launched out, Cascadia Flare gets built up within just seconds. So you get your damage pretty quickly. So I haven't really found a need for Hornet Strike or anything like that. And then lastly, I've got the Okina. Whoops. I'm gonna go over the evolution. I've got the Okina Prime here, mostly as just like a movement tool here, but I do like having in case I need to cut a bitch or something. The Okina Prime is really strong. And then for the build, I just have melee influence here. It's a really good influence weapon. It's hard to, you know, you can't fix what's not broken. Melee influence is just really good on this. Not really shattering expectations or anything, but, you know, it's really good. This is what I use on the Okina. And that's pretty much it. Let's just go ahead and do a little survival and show this off.
Accept your death, and you may yet avoid it. Trust in your training.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
Come on, there we go. Alright, so let's just go through here real quick. So, where are they? There we go. This, and then this. And they all die. See? These are all kind of stuck in here. Then I shoot them towards this. Now they're all dying. Well, they all died from the explosion. There it is. And then see, Aegis just procs, and now I don't have to really worry about always casting my 4 or anything, so that's always nice. I'm just getting some kills with this just so I can get my Incarnon up. And there's that. Use 2, 3, use 4. And they're all gone. Use the 1. Use the 1. Oops, get over here. And the bubble shrinks and then it detonates. I think that's at 33 million. I could be wrong, but I think that's at 33 million.
capsule.
All their armor's gone, and then they're deleted. And they just kind of got sucked into the magnetize. Pulling them in, doing... Yep, just doing millions of damage on that explosion. That is what happened. This is just normal mag shenanigans. Like, this is normal. Fun fact. This is indeed normal.
Will buy you more time.
Overguard doesn't matter. Alright, let's show off the Latron and okay. Maybe that didn't showcase how it just kind of goes in there, but you get the point. And it's also really good for taking out acolytes too. Acolytes cannot. They do not like this. Just try and pull as many enemies in, and there we go. Okay, little 14 million. That's fine. Yeah, see, it's really hard for me, I think, to like hit headshots with this thing in Incarnate form, so I don't really care for Deadhead. I just kind of aim and shoot from the hip.
Life support incoming.
And then the weapon just kind of does the rest. Alright, let's just replenish those. They're gone. Yep, just bring them all in here. Bring them all in here. Yep. And then it goes away, and then 29 million. There we go. See, numbers.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Woo. Do it again. Yep, it's really hard to complain when your build can just do like all of this just damage and like it just doesn't really matter. Tap another 2, 3, tap 4, and they were already dying. So get in here. There we go. There we are. I believe the update goes live tomorrow. I'm going to try and play it as much as I can, but I'm going to be moving. So maybe a little late to the party with some things, but I'm going to try and play what I can once I'm all moved in and have the internet set up and everything. I don't think many people are going to hear this little announcement of mine, but that's fine. Yeah, this is... Still gives me that this is a shelter. Oh, we're not going to get an acolyte? Well, that's disappointing. I was going to show off how it just interacts with an acolyte. And then just kind of abandoning life itself.
The operative has just made their first discovery. Keep up the good work.
Well, not seeing an acolyte.
Go to extraction.
Maybe Max scared him off? Weird. No, I'm in the steel path. I don't know what happened. How odd. Whatever. Aha! Here we go. As I'm leaving. Oh, it's violence. Okay. So, yeah, I got my abilities negated, but it didn't really matter because I already used them. And then I just shot him with the Latron and Carnage. But yeah, if he wouldn't have taken out my abilities, then it just would have deleted him. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. Hope you learned something. Hope you try out Mag. And
This is good.
I'm gone. I'm out of here. Thanks. Later.